There was a day at school when I just walked out of class. I had had enough. Friday afternoon, sitting in a stuffy classroom. A teacher from another class walks in. A group of us had been waiting on test results from him. Everyone gets back their test, but me. I was confused. Had he forgotten mine? As he went to walk out the door, I spoke up. "Can I please see mine?" He turned to look at me, and in front of all my classmates and my other teacher, he confidently stated, "I didn't think you'd want to see it." Wow, okay, I thought, as the whole class looked at me. He handed over my test and left. I didn't even care about the poor mark. I only cared about how he had disrespected me in front of my peers. A memory of how a teacher from your schooling made you feel uncomfortable or humiliated or upset might now be flashing through your mind. There's always one. Hopefully for you, there is only one. But for kids with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, this is an all too common experience. In fact, kids with ADHD are estimated to hear an extra 20,000 negative comments during school hours by age 12. I could tell of countless interactions in which I felt this way, but we'd be here all day. Teachers have the most profound impact on a student's self-esteem, confidence, and in turn, academic performance. Let's make sure it's the right one, because the solution is right in front of us. I was always pretty good at school. I worked hard to counter my mistakes, and despite a small collection of untreated learning disorders, I received numerous excellence awards. An A-grade student one year, and an A-grade student the next, but with 2 failing classes. The difference? The teacher. For both these classes, I had the same teacher, a teacher who endlessly called me stupid. There was only so many times I could hear this before I believed that I was a lost cause in those classes. Why was it okay for my teacher to relentlessly pick on me? Students with ADHD are at a greater risk for dropping out and failing classes. Add to this the harmful comments from teachers, and it's no surprise that these students drop out of school at a rate roughly 4 times higher than their neurotypical peers. I dropped one of those classes, and I failed the other. 2 classes that I'd previously excelled in failed because of how my teacher spoke to me. My love for those subjects destroyed. They were now just hours in the day that I had to check off a to-do list. So what needs to change? What does a good learning environment look like for someone like me? I came out of primary school as a student who hated studying English. In high school, I had an amazing English teacher. Sure, I lacked fundamental skills, but he emphasised my hard work and my aptitude for writing. And by the time I graduated high school, I'd won 3 awards based off of my writing and had been fortunate enough to travel to Canberra twice for these. This teacher took the time to individualise his teaching to my learning style, and I thrived. While he helped me when I needed, my other teacher called me stupid when I asked questions. So I stopped asking questions. I fell behind and I never caught back up. What students with ADHD need from teachers is compassion and understanding, and my outdoor ed teacher did just that. He always took the time to understand why I struggled in certain areas and how he could best help me to achieve the results I was capable of. He checked in with me about the classes that I was having trouble in, and when my marks in his class were lower than expected, he took the time to understand why. Statistically, there is 1 ADHD student in every classroom, and yet over half of our teachers nationally report that they do not have the training required to teach neurodivergent students. The teachers I had who took the time to create a learning environment in which I felt comfortable asking for help were the teachers whose classes I enjoyed. Schools are a place we go to learn, but for many of us, like myself, we are being exposed to harmful beliefs about ourselves, which only make learning more difficult. There was a time in my schooling when I truly believed that those subjects and that area of learning could have been a part of what I might like to study beyond high school. And reflecting back now, it makes me sad that the love that I had for those subjects died such a tragic death, and disappointed in what I experienced. The day that I got up and I walked out of class because this teacher had once again humiliated me in front of my peers was the day that I never checked back in. We need to shift the mindset that these children are troublemakers. People with ADHD are incredibly curious, creative, and innovative. But because of these environments in which their self-esteem is constantly battered, they are at a greater risk for developing destructive behaviours, including substance abuse issues, problems with employment, and criminality. Whether our teachers are directly aware of which students in their classrooms have neurodivergent brains or not, does not mean that these students should be subject to this type of attitude. Awareness in classrooms is necessary for productive learning, and recognition for different types of brains is vital. When our teachers have the ability to create an effective learning space for every student, then the biggest difference can be made. The good news is that we know how to get it right. We can give our teachers the skills required to help students with ADHD achieve their best, and recognise that these people have a lot to offer. And these new teaching styles benefit everyone. Who wouldn't want their education to feel more personal? Thank you.